Hello guys and welcome back. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's video I believe is very helpful. It's something that I'd want to know. It's something that I've been getting asked a lot since I put the 37s on the truck and the leveling kit on the truck. How has it affected my MPG? So I'm going to do an MPG run today, the identical run that I did in a previous video when I compared the 2020 to the 2019, and I got 18.9 MPG I believe and 12.45 liters per 100. So I do have the numbers in the truck, so I will confirm that, but I believe those are the numbers. So we'll see today, you know, how it does. There's not much wind. It's an absolutely beautiful day here in Nova Scotia, Canada. That's where I'm at. It's a beautiful day here. There's not much wind, so the conditions should be very, very good. We got a little bit of snow last night, but the roads are completely cleared off now. I'm gonna get the truck dirty because it's full of salt. But anyway, I do it for you guys. All right, so let's take a look at the truck. So if you are just checking in for the first time, this is my 2020 F350 Superduty Platinum trim level, and so far what I've done to the truck is I put the 37 1250 Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws on the truck. I put the 2.5 inch Ready Lift leveling kit with the track bar relocation bracket. I have Firestone load lift 5000 2600 series airbags on the truck. I put the backflip MX4 bed cover on the truck that came off of my 250 that I traded in. The compressor that powers the airbags is the Airlift Wireless 1, and I mounted it inside the cab to keep it out of the weather that we have here in Nova Scotia, because if not, you go through these things like crazy. You burn through these compressors like crazy. They short out, they corrode. So this is where I mounted it, and I'll never have any issues. Okay, so that's what I've done to the truck so far. There's lots of future things happening. You know, we're gonna do some window tint, we're gonna do some detailing on the truck. New wheels are on the way. I decided on new wheels, so new wheels are on the way. Now guys, in a previous video, you guys were saying that you thought that the back end looked lower than the front end. At the end of that video, I did do a actual measurement, and the measurement is still 1/4 inch, I think, higher in the back than it is on the front. So the back is still higher than the front, but if I want to, I can raise it up with the airbags, but I probably will put a block back there. But remember guys, this is temporary. I'm waiting for Carly to confirm fitment for the 2020s, and then this is getting a Carly 4.5 inch lift or 2.5 inch leveling system. So I'm gonna answer another question I've been getting from people since I did the leveling kit in the 37s. What is the overall height of the truck? Because people are wondering if it will fit inside of their garage. So I'm gonna do this right now. Now of course, I put a rag up there because I don't want to scratch my paint. So this is gonna give you a pretty good idea. The ground looks, you know, I'm sitting on pretty flat ground. So let's take a look. Guys, so it is a little bit hard to do this with one hand, but here is what we have. We have 83 inches from the ground to the top of the cab. 83 inches. So some guys were wondering if their 7-foot garage would work. It looks like it will just barely work. It'll just barely. So there, 83 inches overall height from the ground to the cab is what I'm coming up with. Okay, and a video I posted the other day with my wife driving this truck, it was titled, "My wife drives the lifted Super Duty on 37s for the first time." One guy commented and said, you know, how is that lifted? Well, it's a leveling kit, so technically it's not a lift kit. With 37 inch tires and the leveling kit, okay, this is a 2019 on 35, so this isn't even stock. And you know, the 2020s have been lowered compared to the 2019s. There is no weight on this plow whatsoever. If anyone out there that knows, you plow snow, you put your plow down, there's no weight on the front of this. This is where this truck sits. This is where this truck sits all the time. So 35s are still bigger than stock. 37s with a leveling kit. Take a look at the mirrors, guys. Look at the difference. This truck is lifted. It is not stock at all. So she's quite a bit higher. These 37s get it up there. The leveling kit gets it up there. So that all plays into fact to your MPG. So anyway, let's jump in this bad boy. She looks sexy, guys. Like, even with those wheels on it, it's a damn sexy truck. So guys, I will, see what the truck says. I'll reset it. We'll see what the truck says, but I have not hooked up the forescan to this truck yet, so the speedometer has not been recalibrated to adapt to the larger tires. So I'm going to use the distance from the last time I did this with the 2020 when it was on the stock wheels, and it was 86.7 kilometers. So that is going to be the distance that I'm going to use today. And we'll just see what the actual pump-to-pump calculations is. So let's fill this bad boy up. All right, let's fire this thing up, zero it out, head on out. We'll see what the truck says, and we'll see what we get for pump to pump. All right, so I'm gonna do the exact same route as I did before. So we got a little bit of this sort of side road driving. We're going to be doing 45, 50 miles per hour. And then we get on the highway, we're going to be doing 65. So we're going to be doing 65. Now, guys that have seen my videos previously, this is the same route. But guys that are just checking in for the first time, I will show you a little bit of the footage of the terrain we're driving on. It is basically up and down for the most part. There's not a whole lot of flat ground, so it's basically up and down. We've got some serious hill coming back, and the wind actually did just pick up quite a bit. And typically we're heading west right now, and typically that is where our wind comes from. So I'll probably be driving into the wind on the way there, and I'll get it at my back on the way back. So in my most recent video, my wife drove this truck for the first time, and she loved it. She it is higher. You can see the comparison from the 2019. It's quite a bit higher, the bigger tires. She loved it. She found the steering was smoother, which it honestly absolutely is. I've mentioned that before. And the power, she noticed the power like right away. Even with the 37s on there, you don't even feel any power loss whatsoever. Like guys were asking me, are you worried about power loss? And I was sort of worried about power loss, to be honest. But man, there is no power loss like whatsoever. This truck has so much power. Even with the 37s on there, it is just an absolute rocket. It is an absolute rocket. But she did call the truck girly. She called it fancy and girly in the video. Now that shows right there that was completely unrehearsed. I certainly never would have told her to call this truck girly. She said it is fancy and girly because it's white. Well, just there's a lot of white vehicles out there that don't look girly. Anyway, we'll have to do something about that. So we got the new wheels coming, and then once we get the windows tinted and stuff, she shouldn't look too girly. I shouldn't call her she. It shouldn't look too girly after that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about that comment. Okay, here we are getting on the highway. So guys, as always, I'm not gonna try to get good mileage. I'm not gonna try to get bad mileage. I'm just gonna drive how I would normally drive. So we are accelerating right now how I would normally drive. I do have the speedometer app open on my phone so that I ensure that I get, the proper speed, because I know it is off by a little bit. All right, so I want to do 65 miles per hour. Okay, so the truck is reading 61 miles per hour, and my speedometer app is bouncing back and forth between 64 and 65. So that is where I'm going to leave it, right there. All right, so right off the bat, we're going down a hill, up a hill, down a hill, up a hill. So that's what this whole drive is going to be. I don't know if you guys can hear it or if you can see, but the wind is actually picked up pretty decent here. So it'll be interesting to see what the results are. All right, so we're climbing the first hill. We have lots more of these to do on this trip. The whole trip is like this, like I mentioned. So to not drag this video out, I'm just going to show you guys when I get to the halfway point, and I'll show you a little bit of footage on the way back. Not halfway there yet, but I want to show you guys, you know, the road and the terrain that we're on. We're in a very steep hill right now. Cameras do no justice to hills and mountains and stuff like that whatsoever. It's actually really weird. It doesn't show up very well on camera at all, but this is a very steep grade, 6 or 7% for sure, and it's quite long. So this is what we're into. This is what we're dealing with. This is Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is just all hills, rivers, lakes, everything. It's not flat ground in the least. So what I get for mileage here is probably going to be worse than a lot of people in a lot of other places, because you're going to be driving on a lot of flat ground. So just giving you an idea. We're actually, like, we're up here a long ways. I can see as plain as day out here to the ocean from up here. Okay, so now we have reached our halfway point, and the truck is saying 18.3 MPG, which is 12.8 liters per 100. So if that is, you know, anywhere near being correct, we're doing pretty damn good. You know, it is a bit windy today. We definitely were driving into the wind on the way there. So if that is anywhere near correct, that is good. 37-inch tires. But we will have to wait and see when we get back to the pump. Okay, so here is the big one. This is the big mamma jamma. Very long, very steep hill. This guy here definitely does not have a load on inside of that transport truck, because he's actually sticking to a pretty consistent speed this whole drive. If he had a load inside of that trailer, he would be dying on this hill, like absolutely dying. This lane on this side actually is like super wide, and it's because of the steepness of the hill, and the trucks just die. Like, he's actually still starting to slow down right now, even with an empty trailer. He's still doing pretty good. He's probably still doing 55 miles per hour or so, maybe a little less right now. But yeah, this is a killer. Yeah, he's starting to slow down pretty good now. So let's get to the pump and find out the real numbers. It's going to be interesting, because the truck right now is saying 18 MPG, and the truck would actually be calculating less distance because the tire size throws off the speedometer. So we're actually traveling further than what the truck thinks it's traveling, and you know, he's still using that same amount of fuel. So it's gonna be interesting what it says, but right now the truck is saying 18 MPG right on the dot. Guys, 12.360 liters. So the truck is saying 18.2 MPG, which is 81.9 kilometers. So it's off by quite a bit there, and distance wise, and it says 12.9 liters per 100. So let's see what the real number is. All right guys, so we're back. Let's see what the numbers are. Okay, so when I plug the numbers in using the distance from before, it works out to be 14.26 liters per 100, which then converts to 16.49 MPG. So that means that we lost roughly 2 liters per 100 and 2 MPG going to the 37s with the leveling kit. So it's not the same day, obviously, so conditions were slightly different. I do definitely believe that we had some wind today. We were driving into the wind, so that was a factor. Obviously I'll keep an eye on it, you know, going forward, to see, you know, what results I do get going forward. I'm not upset with that at all. If this truck can continue to get you know, 16, 17 MPG and even better possibly with 37-inch tires on it, I'm happy. I'm extremely happy. This truck's brand new. It's gonna break in as well. So anyway guys, that is it. I hope that answers a lot of questions for you guys. I've been getting asked this question a lot since I uploaded the videos, since the truck had the leveling kit and the 37s on it. So there are the numbers for me. They could be different for everybody. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Different situations, like I said. The terrain is all up and down, up and down, up and down. So the MPG that I might get may not be the same as what you get, but that's the real world results for me anyway, guys. But as always, guys, if you have any questions, hit me up, DM me on Instagram at WorkPlayTV. Send me an email if you want, or just comment below. But for now, guys, that's it. You guys take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.